starting the recording now. And Winter is on her way in. Welcome everybody back from break. Today is part one discussion on metrics and exercise. I'm so glad that you guys are all here today. So I want to start with, I know that we're going to do our regular routine, insights, wins, questions, focus, but I would like to know from the team that's here, how did the break work for you? Was it a good thing or was it a bad thing?
It was a good thing for me, but I'm still not caught up.
Okay, all right, good.
Just exactly the same thing that Kim Drummel just said.
Okay.
It was a good thing for us too, to see if we're really going to stay on track or not. So
that's absolutely right, Julia. It's about, do you have the power within yourself? Do you have the mindset to get past that, right, and use that time for something productive? So that's good. Great feedback. Anybody else?
Well, for me, I like to keep going because if I have an interruption, something else catches my attention and I start doing that.
Shiny objects.
That too.
Yeah, so it's just like, but when I'm in the rhythm, like I'm constantly in the rhythm, and then because really the last time we met was Thursday, so that was longer than just a week. And so, but then this weekend and also last night I went through and caught back up, but I just felt like I kind of lost my jive a little bit.
Your momentum.
Hey, I absolutely agree with that. Go ahead, Winter.
Hey, yeah, no, I'll jump in and say, yeah, the week prior to the break, I missed. And then the break week, I actually logged on because I was like, I want to talk to someone.
That too.
So
I know, and we were mean. We were mean. We didn't even let you in. I just sent you a text. This is an off week.
No. I think you called me. No.
Okay.
You actually called me and you were like, let me know if you need something. Yeah, no, I know I could reach you guys.
Oh, that's good.
You did better than you even thought. No, it was just one of those, and now I'm like 2 weeks out and I'm like, wait, what are we talking about? Okay, so yeah. I'm still busy and running crazy, but yeah, I'm glad to be back.
Good. Well, we're glad that you're back, Winter. Okay, good. So for me, I feel the same way as Dr. Roxanne. I would rather just plow through it because it does allow some downtime or down space in my head when I'm doing a course. But that's just personal opinion. And I like shiny objects too. So now, Roxanne and I did still meet last week. And if you didn't catch, and Gretchen mentioned it earlier, I sent out a note to my contacts that Roxanne and I will be doing a beta 2 version of this class. And it starts on the 22nd, which is the same week that we'll be finishing up with you guys. We're going to run it a little different based on your feedback. Thank you guys all for being here. We've updated the content. We're only going to meet once a week and we're not going to take any breaks, is some of the bigger things that we're going to do in that class. I'm pretty excited about it. All right. So who would like to share an insight from the last 2 weeks?
Well, I bought some new running shoes, but I haven't started back running yet.
That's a start.
That's great.
I'm trying to figure out morning, afternoon, I don't know. I'm trying to work at it. Since the grandbabies have taken over my workout room, I can't work out in my workout room. It's laden with toys.
Rose?
Yeah, my insight for this week was actually watching Dr. Roxanne's video. I know I'm not interested in working out so much because I'm getting older. Because I was like, I bike like 14 miles a day. I don't get it. I was such a gym rat, when I was younger, and I couldn't figure out. But it makes sense. And then for the business one, I really liked. I'm actually excited to see the other piece of the, the revenue Yeah, I was like, when? You're like, we're not going to go over that today. I was like, when?
They'll leave you hanging.
Really good to know that I'm interested enough to want to watch the other part of this. So yeah, good stuff.
Very good. Thanks, Rose. Anyone else want to share an insight?
And I think I'm polar opposite from Trisha because I'm not really business oriented. I'm wellness oriented, not business oriented. And so what I actually did is I had my office manager put a dashboard together. I said, I want to know how many chiro visits I have. I want to know how many nutrition visits I have. I want to know how much I made in supplements. So that I saw her writing something down and I'm thinking, I think you're supposed to do that in an Excel sheet. And she goes, stop it. We're going to start here. And I was like, okay.
I love
So,
it.
but that's a start. I would never do that because I don't care. As long as I can pay my bills, I don't really, I'm not care.
Yep. That's great. Awesome.
I think my insight is that it's really making me reevaluate my business and the direction I'm going in, and I'm still formulating that I'm still making those decisions. So I'm still in that plan mode.
Good. That's great. Thanks for sharing, Gretchen.
And
That's
for
awesome.
me, just creating the habits, what we've learned in the last, 3 or 4 weeks. And people have been seeing like the constant change. They're wanting like more, they are watching and you're leading by example. So more people are wanting to change their stuff. And then even in our business, we have on social media, we've been able to get, just some more clients and gaining more momentum with that.
That's awesome.
Okay, and I just want to, Philip, I want to make a statement on some of your stuff that you sent me. Real quick. Yeah, no, I'm just saying, and they were good questions. The beef jerky is fine. It's just that because sometimes that's a better bad choice, but it's processed. So if you look at the ingredients in it, you see that there's a lot of stuff. And the bread, and any bread, the hamburger buns, if you put any hamburger bun in water, it's going to get soggy. So that means it dumps glucose. So hamburger buns, even though it looks like on the package, it looks good. And peanuts are okay, but if you look on the can of peanuts, what you'll see in the ingredients is sugar. So they hide sugar in there. So now you're eating peanuts with sugar. It's better if you like peanuts to do the ones in the shell.
Okay. I didn't get those because I'm scared of the Rona. I'm not kidding.
No, I
Like,
believe you.
touched them. So
I believe
how about
you.
those chicharrones? Those are fine, right?
The what?
Those pork skins in the middle.
Yeah. Now, obviously, I didn't even comment on those because anything called pork skins, you probably should know that that's not going to be healthy.
Has no carbs.
Yeah, but either does like lard.
Yeah.
Oh,
This
class is
my
hard. This class
I
is
forgot to
hard.
ask you how whiskey rates.
Well, whiskey is alcohol, which is sugar. So if you do 3 shots of whiskey, you're getting 20 sugar packets.
So what? Okay, so 1 shot of whiskey. Okay, there we go.
So
if you're having a bad day, it might be worth it.
So my insight is somebody already talked about, I think it was Rose, mentioned, she used to be a gym rat and spent hours and did a lot of running and those sorts of things. And I find myself, because of an injury, not able to do those things that I used to enjoy. So Roxanne, I love that you had I don't know if you called it the trifecta or the try something, right? Where you do need to do some kind of weight bearing exercise. You do need your cardio, but the flexibility, right, is where I'm at in the world in this space right now, because my neck can't necessarily take some of the other exercises while I have inflammation in my body, which is partly because I'm not eating the things I should be eating all of the time. So that was really insightful to me that you had that trifecta space, and just a great reminder that we need all of that in order to be healthy. So thank you.
Right.
Go ahead, Phil.
I was gonna I'll ask her right now, Dr. Roxanne, she might know this. I've been going online trying to find 4 sets of dumbbells, a preacher bench, curl bar, and an incline, and I can't find them anywhere. So do you know anybody who might have? Everybody's sold out. I can't find anything anywhere.
Yeah, so you know, if you can't order them from some of the like Academy or some of those places, I went to Amazon because I was looking for a wall ball, and they told me they didn't have any during COVID, and then I was so excited, I just got it in the mail like a week ago, and
Okay.
so, but I mean, it was really hard to find, and you might even look on
Oh.
Craigslist or look on some of those people that are having, well, I don't know if people are having whatever the garage sales because of Corona, but a lot of people are just trying to get rid of stuff. Like they don't want their old weight stuff. So, and you can disinfect it. Doesn't mean you can just put Clorox all over it. It will be okay.
Yeah, I might do
Go ahead,
that now.
Rose.
I can't find. I just try. It's been hard.
Yeah, I found all my workout equipment actually at the Goodwill offer up and let go because gyms were closing down, and I got I got a fitness quality bike out of the Goodwill.
Nice.
$15. And when I checked it, it went for $700. So big win for me.
Yeah.
They actually are closing down the 24-hour fitness by me. I mean, I don't go there, but my husband does, and he's just having to look for other options. But now that the corona is getting worse, now he's second guessing and not going and just doing, you know, like P90X videos. So just finding alternatives to do at home.
Right.
It's getting really bad. So that, and what else? Oh, not feeling guilty if I didn't work out, because eating better and having the right food in your body, you're not feeling as guilty not working out because we are getting older. So yeah.
Yes.
And then when I visit Rose, I never get to the gym. I don't even get to the track. I bring my workout mat, I bring my shoes and my clothes. And my husband's like, are you really going to use that? I'm like, in my mind, I'm thinking, yeah. When I get there, no. But, you know, we have been making better options and I don't feel as guilty. And that's huge for me because I'm like, if I didn't work out, I'm not having a good day. But like this morning, we went on a 2-mile walk before my first Zoom at 9 a.m. And even though like the first 5 minutes I was walking, they're like, Julie, are you walking? I'm like, yes, I didn't work out yesterday. So I'm going on my 2-mile walk this morning. And that only took, you know, maybe 25, 30 minutes or whatever it took. And I was fine. So as long as you're being active and making the right choices, I think that's good.
Right. And next time what you need to do is you need to tell Rose to suck it up, Buttercup, and make her put her tennis shoes on and go with you.
Yeah, Julia, what kind of accountability partner are you?
Oh, wow.
It's on now, Rose. You just doomed it for you.
I'm just putting it out there.
Anybody else have an insight to share? So I'm curious, Dr. Roxanne said that she started on her dashboard, or actually she delegated the dashboard to someone, which is absolutely okay too. Has anyone else either created one, has one, or maybe you already had one coming into this lesson for your business?
I already have one.
Okay.
You know, I mean, I always am tracking, I track everything in my business. So once I finally get the direction down, I know exactly where to pull all my metrics from because I've already got them. So that's
great. Thank you for sharing that, Gretchen. I was thinking about, I will probably put it into the Facebook group, some examples that I have access to, and it could be something as simple as one of the things that one of the owners that I was working with last week showed me her dashboard, and it was just a spreadsheet keeping track of what her gross sales were at any given time during a month. She has that spreadsheet all the way back from 2008. So she has her monthly gross sales in a spreadsheet for the last 12 years, which is pretty amazing. And not realizing that that's actually a dashboard for her, right? To measure her success month to month and comparing it to the year before and what that looks like. And it's very simple, but it is a dashboard. Now there are some other numbers that she should be looking at, but it could be something as simple as that.
Trisha, I have when I log into my portal, basically online, I have a dashboard and it shows me like how many bookings and how many bookings, the value of those bookings. And it's so informative. And the funny part is that during the month of May, I did really well, was super excited about it. And I've like tracked it nearly every day, right? I was like showing my husband, I was telling my friends, and then June 1st came and that dashboard changed to June. So everything went to zero from a start perspective. And don't get me wrong, I can go back and pull it, but I literally said, I should have screenshotted this, like, because I just needed to log in and see it. I was like, oh no, I'm starting over. So that was a learning. I've solved it, right? Because I went and I pulled the data and I had it with me and I'm like, okay, how am I tracking June versus May? But it was one of those moments that was like, I felt a little bit defeated because I had to start over in the month of June. It never ends.
Yeah, well, and we need to learn that about ourselves, right? We need to celebrate those successes. It's so important that you can go back and look at those numbers and say, wow, look what I did. June 1st looks terrible, right? But that's okay because it's going to be just as good or better than May.
Yep.
And the key is really that you're looking at it, right?
Yep.
And celebrating those successes. That's great. Thank you for sharing. Philip, did you have something?
I've always kept I'm all about spreadsheets, have been since, my regular life working, but I got a sales log that I keep each month for each customer and each line of business we sell, and then I color code it green, and then it allows me to come back 2 months later or whatever, and hey, if so-and-so bought a home but not a car, or they didn't buy life, and the goal is basically for the entire line to be green by some point, but it's kind of how I follow back for that's how I track.
Yeah, that's awesome. So are you using a spreadsheet or are you using pen and paper? Because I know that you do a lot of journaling.
I'm all about, we call it writing. I'm a guy.
Okay.
I keep spreadsheets. Okay. I'm big on spreadsheets.
Yeah, very cool. I like that. Well, and the other thing that Philip has, hopefully, Philip, you don't mind me sharing, is he has 2 full walls in his office that are blackboards. And that's another way that he tracks his work. And I think that's really cool, that is in your face all the time, right? And that's another great way to track metrics. So great.
I like it.
Anybody else? All right, you guys. So who has a win that they want to share?
I do.
Go for it.
So I had to have some routine blood work done. And I was so excited. I already shared this with Roxanne, but this is huge for me, that it's the first time in probably, I don't know, really literally 15, 20 years that my cholesterol has been in a normal range. And it's totally due to this diet. Absolutely. And it's really spurred me on to really keep the focus on this. So.
That is awesome, Gretchen. Congratulations.
So I got it in black and white. So that was like, woohoo.
Yeah.
Who else has a win?
Although I actually take this coffee, but it's really called less angry coffee, not to be the happy coffee. And I ran out, but because I had a session with Dr. Roxanne where she talked about the importance of the vitamin B and kind of, getting a good floor. So when I ran out of the coffee, I started taking my vitamin B, and I actually did pretty well through, my outage. Even Julia her and her husband came for the weekend, and she was like, "You're doing okay, Rose. You're not flipping out," So, so I think getting my supplements right has really, really, really helped. And even because we were on a week break, I was really worried because I was like, oh my gosh, it's Corona quarantine again all over. You know, I was like, so I didn't know how far back I was going to go, but you know, just kind of keeping you know, mindful of the things that I've learned. And my win in the business side is I switched from training my team the bank program, which is another personality kind of profiling. And I liked bank, but it wasn't as widely known as DISC. So I went back to promoting DISC as the chart. So those are my two wins. And I got the bike, but I haven't used it yet.
That's awesome. I just want to ask, somebody dialed in from a 713, last digit 767. Can you tell us who you are?
Yes, this is Colton Cockrell, certified
Okay,
financial
thank you.
fiduciary with my group.
I just wanted to make sure there's no strangers on the phone. That's all. I'm practicing good OPSEC.
Dang it! I should have totally made up a name. I lost my chance.
Oh no, because I kind of recognize the last four numbers of the phone.
All right. Who else has a win that they would like to share? Go ahead, Julia.
Because of the artificial flavor conversation we had with Dr. Roxanne, instead of having a whole Splenda in my coffee and oatmeal, I just divide it and have one packet a day.
Nice.
Less than I had before.
Yeah, have you tried? Do you not like Truvia?
Maybe I haven't tried it because I have a whole box of that Splenda. I just been trying to use it.
Yeah.
But I will try that. Is that better
Yeah.
than Splenda?
I like Truvia better than Stevia, only because, well, maybe because when I opened Stevia, it's so fine powder. When I opened it, it went in the air and I basically snorted it. And I guess after that, I hated it. And Truvia is granulated like sugar. So it looks like real sugar. It's not like this powdery whatever.
I'll have to try that.
Go ahead, Phil.
That's great, Julia. Good for you.
What anybody says, it is a win for me. I go to Shipley's every Saturday morning because I like to, and instead of getting 8 kolaches, I got 4. So I felt good. I'm being serious. I like kolaches.
That's awesome. It is a win.
I only drank 1.5 Dr. Peppers this weekend, so I threw half one away. It hurt, but I did. So.
Well, that's a big win.
That's huge because you made a conscious effort to change your behavior, right? When you do that, it's huge.
It was a mindset.
Hey, Phil, your orange ball bouncing on the desk is really loud.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. I muted you a minute ago. Oh, it's all good.
I like
all right.
You what, Rose?
I like his Cowboys cup. Philip had a Cowboys cup.
Oh, yeah.
A sticker on it. America's team. America's team.
It is.
Does anybody else want to share a win?
I have a win. I actually, I struggle with hiring people, just to help me. You too, Kim. Maybe my own issues might be part of the problem, but they don't do it the way I do it. And so I actually have a lady who is now working for me, and it's part-time, but we're going through growing pains, but I took the step, and so anyway, so I now have both an inspector who's working for me, who's actually helping me a ton, and she's trying, so that's important. And then I always hire cleaning companies. If I had them on staff, it would be a lot, it would be a lot cheaper. And so I hired my first direct cleaner as well. And so I now have 2 part-time people working for me, and it's painful, but we're living through it. It's, it's been 6 weeks, and so that's my win. Sorry, a lot of words. That's my win.
No, that's awesome.
Amazing. That is amazing, Winter. That is the hardest thing as a business owner that you can do, is trust someone else to do the things that you know you do better, right? It's part of growing, though. Good for you. All right, yes. Kim, did you have something?
Well, I'm finally moved into my new business location. Yay. There's still some boxes, but The computers are hooked up. We can make calls. We can take calls. So yeah, good.
That's awesome. Very good. And you like your new space?
I do a lot.
That's awesome. Gretchen?
Nope.
Okay. I saw you come off of mute. I didn't know. Anybody else wins? All right, it's time for questions. Does anybody have any questions for Dr. Roxanne or I? Nobody? I do. Dr. Roxanne, I think I saw your house. I think I saw your house from the water. We were, Dennis and I went out on the boat on Saturday, and I'm like, I think that's Dr. Roxanne's house right there. Are you real close to Nassau Bay? Like a sort of close?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I thought so.
Yes. And I have my roof is orangish color.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the house is like a lighter stucco.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, I saw it.
Not white stucco. It's because there's a white one next to me.
Okay. No, just a lighter color. It's
Yes,
not a dark.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nobody has any questions. You guys must be full of questions.
I
Go
do.
ahead, Rose. Yeah.
Okay, for Dr. Roxanne, do you have a just a suggestion on how we could, you know, kind of want to work out more? Because that's, you know.
Yeah. Okay, so in the you know those exercises, those videos where the dog is barking and it's loud. You probably looked at it and said, okay, you don't want to look at it. But the reason why I put that together is because when I don't feel like working out, once you start that workout, like once you just do it, because you don't really have to warm up much or anything, but once you just follow what you're supposed to do, you don't have to worry about weights really. You can do a lot of it without weights, but it gets you moving, and within the first round, you're all of a sudden like in it. And it's, you can do it just like me. I'm doing it on my patio. You can do it in your house anywhere without any, and the deal is you just got to hit play, and it doesn't take very long. It doesn't even take 20 minutes to do. It's probably the easiest way to start working out and start liking it. But it's just like, you know, that saying, a body in motion stays in motion, a body at rest stays at rest. Once you start, like the first video is chest, shoulders, and triceps, and it just takes you through a round of stuff that it's not too difficult. It's not gonna make you exhausted, but your muscles are gonna love it. Like it's gonna feel good. So the next day when you do back and biceps, it's kind of the same thing. It's not going to be overwhelming. It's not going to make you exhausted, but your muscles are going to feel good. Then your brain, because you're working out, it starts making endorphins. And then it becomes almost like you have to, like what Julia's saying. When she doesn't work out, she feels tired because she hasn't made those endorphins. And I told that to someone. I said, man, if I don't work out, I feel tired. And then what the other person said was, gosh, the thought of working out makes me tired. We had two different views, but what happens is your brain starts making those endorphins, even though you're not going super hard, and then it becomes almost like an addiction. It's almost addicted, but you just have to, it's like, you just have to try it one day, and then it will just happen. Or you can do what I do and sign up for a 5K run, and that will force you to train.
What kind of advice is that? Oh, I'm kidding. Thank you. And then for Trisha, I'm trying to figure out how to, because I'm kind of like Winter. I've got a dashboard that my company provides. It's our Power Zone, and I can log in and kind of see everything that we've done and everything that we've made. Is it necessary for me to put it in kind of the formula, you know, breakdown that you had for revenue? Because I do a service, not so much a product. So I was trying to figure out how many bobs, you know, and widgets, how I would convert, you know, what I do to your example.
Yeah, you do not need to recreate a report, Rose. Many of us that are part of larger corporation type businesses have access to reports. And if that report serves its purpose for you, there's absolutely no reason for you to pull data out and create a new dashboard. So if that dashboard works for you, perfect. In part 2, you'll see the videos that Dr. Roxanne was talking about if you didn't do part 2 yet. So her videos are in there, and also I'm looking at the content right now. The Way to Wealth demonstration, Rose, is in part 1. So I don't know if you walked through that, but using that formula and just writing things down on paper will help you grow your business, or maybe even find holes in your business where you could make some very tiny adjustments to get more revenue out of your business. So I would say using that formula to just take one of the services, it could be getting people into your business, or it could be selling the service that you run through that formula. And you and I can do that offline. I'm happy to do that with you if you like. But to answer your question, you do not need to recreate a dashboard if the one that you have today is serving its purpose. Any other questions? I wanted to piggyback on the discussion that Rose, you and Dr. Roxanne were having. I used to work out all the time, and then I had a period and this is before I was injured actually, where I was ready to get back to doing something, Rose, but I was not at all motivated to do anything. So I know that I like to be outdoors. And so where I started was riding my bicycle. I would just get on my bicycle in the morning and I would do a mile, and then I would do 2 miles, and I enjoyed it. So for me, it was about finding something that I loved to do. And then that catapulted me back to the gym, right? So it was really just kind of getting into, and I think Roxanne, you said it takes 90 days to create a habit or something like that, right? So for me, it was doing something that I loved long enough for me to get back to the gym. And then I hurt myself and I have all kinds of other issues. So, but that worked for me, finding something that I like to do, and being outside was part of it. So.
Hey, Rose, I also want to touch on something else that you said you got that bike. Is it a recumbent bike, a sit down bike, or just a regular stand up bike?
Oh my God, it's a lazy bike. It's got the back seat, you know, with the back. And I mean, it's like the bucket seat. It's so awesome. I mean, I could sit on my laptop on that bike, so I probably won't get a really great, you know, vigorous aerobic exercise, but man, I don't mind taking it for, you know, a stroll while I watch TV. I don't know how effective that's going to be because it's the sit down bike, you know, the one with the chair in it. But I was just excited to find it.
And is your pedals more in front of you instead of under you?
Yeah, they're in front. So
it's a recumbent bike, like you're sitting down in a seat and you're pedaling in front of you.
Yes, I could totally recline. I don't know. It's not. I know it's not a workout bike, but it's from a gym. So.
Oh, okay. So one thing you can do that also is kind of motivating is there is a app.
Oh, did she freeze?
Yeah, she did freeze.
Yeah.
If you can hear us, Roxanne, you're frozen.
Can't hear what's the name of the app.
Bad place to freeze.
It might be an app that
Leave us hanging.
That'd be awesome. A biking app. Now I want to look for an app.
All right, that's a shiny object, Rose.
I know.
Well,
Love those shiny objects.
And then all of a sudden now I'm already on my phone and I'm not even closing out the meeting.
all right, so she dropped off. I'm sure she'll come back on. I have a question for you guys, and this is more of a feedback question about the course. We have mixed feedback. Some people like that health and business are in the same chapter, kind of, you know, the health leads and then the business. And then we have some feedback where people would prefer it completely separate. How do you guys feel about the coursework, having each lesson having health and business together?
I love it.
you like it. See, I find it hard. I do.
Okay.
I feel like my focus is in two different places, and but that is what the course is. So it is two different things. So I'm not really sure. You know, I mean, I think it's good. At one point I was like, oh, I can't focus on the business because I'm focusing on the health, but really you got to focus on both. So, I mean, it's good for somebody like me that it's forced like that, because you have to focus on both, even though it's not ideal for my learning style or my behavior style. It stretches me. So
Okay.
in that aspect, it's good. You know?
That's good.
And we
All right.
we already discovered that Kim and I are on the opposite sides of the personality difference.
Uh-huh.
So for me, I love that they're both together, because I've been going since Corona started. I've noticed everybody wants to work on their health and they want to work on their wealth. And I have an attention disorder, obviously, because but I think it's great that I'm eating, no matter what. I'm gonna take something from both sides of it, and I need to learn in a kind of chaotic environment, so I'm different than Kim, and I like having two things happening at the same time. What was hilarious is I was trying to catch up on my homework, and my husband walked in, and he's like, "You can't watch both videos at the same time." I was like, "Yes, I can." You know? He's like, "You can't." I was like, "No, there's about two different things." So I mean, it was difficult, but I did do it, and I caught up. So, but I think it's great for me. But I'm like, just like Kim said, my personality type is certain, and so I love it. I freaking love it. So I mean, I'll put two hands up. Like,
Good.
I think it's great.
Anybody else want to weigh in on that question? Oh, well, and what I appreciate about the feedback that you both just gave is that you related it back to behavior styles, which means I'm doing my job. You guys learned, right, that it all comes back to what is your behavior style and what's your mindset, right? And what is your learning style? That's all part of that. So yeah, I appreciate the feedback, because I think in some cases it is overwhelming, Kim, where you just want to focus on one thing at a time. Plus you have so much going on with your business, moving and hiring people, et cetera, and Rose, you just like change a lot, just moving and shaking and going. So yeah, that's great. Awesome. Julia?
I like it just because I also think it is helpful to have your accountability partner, because when Rose wants to eat bad, I can tell her no.
She's paddling on you again, Rose.
Kolaschkis at Shipley's Donuts, Philip. It's for you, because I normally eat 4, but I'm going to eat 2.
You know what? It's a win, because you thought about it, right? You made a conscious decision to eat less.
So
We're not going to be perfect right away. Go ahead, Julia.
Just the accountability partner, just keeping track. I know I checked on Edith just to see how she was doing, and she lost 2 pounds last week. So that was awesome. So just a little step can help someone, and just keeping the motivation and momentum, and just having a group to be accountable to. Because we could say it's easy, but it's not really easy, because it's a conscious choice and a mindset you have to do with every single day. But having your accountability partner, no matter how big or small your group is very helpful.
Yeah, good. Thank you for the feedback.
So thank you for the invite to the group.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and that's another thing that Roxanne and I'll be doing. We will have a pre-course meeting where we talk about finding an accountability partner, having an accountability partner, and where everyone gets to meet everyone else, right? Which we didn't do in this course. We just jumped straight into the coursework. So yeah, and based on you guys' feedback, that's one of the things that we're going to be doing. So thank you guys very much. Roxanne's finally coming back in. There you are. Oh, she's connecting to audio. She said her internet went down. She texted me. There she is. Hey, Roxanne.
Yeah, sorry. I don't.
We've
nothing is
been
working.
waiting with bated breath about this app.
Yeah. So, okay. Do you want me? Are y'all in the middle of something? You want me to tell you about it?
No, go ahead.
So Active, AAPTIV, and what I do, because like I do a lot of cardio, and I hate cardio. I don't know. People think I like to work out. I don't like to work out. So, but so what you do is you go onto the app, and whether it's running outside, running on a treadmill, riding a bike on the side, it even has some workout stuff. And even like those gauntlets, it's like those perpetual stairs that move. It gives you, you can do beginners, which is maybe 5 to 10 minutes. You can do intermediate or advanced. You can choose which one you want to do, and you put your earphones in, and it's like you're in a class. You're like, okay, let's warm up. Start on level 3. Here we go. And it just and then next thing you know, 40 minutes or 30 minutes has gone by, and it's like you're in a class, and it's very motivating. And you're not bored.
Roxanne, did you say APPTIV?
AAPTIV.
Oh, good Lord. Okay, so I'm putting it in the chat.
Okay, and I'm going
All
to,
right,
but not an E, just AAPTIV.
Oh, good.
Yeah. And let me look at my.
Is that double P?
No, it's
AAP.
Yeah, AAPTIV.
I think I got it in the chat right the second time, Gretchen.
Yeah, and it's a great app. And I mean, I've been using that for, I think, a couple years now. Because I like it has all different levels. And I was going to create something for myself, for my patients. I'm like, why? This is already done. And if anyone is really interested, let me know, because I might have sometimes they send me people to try it for free. And so just like, you can text me if you want to try that. And I don't know for sure, because now COVID, they might have taken all those things down, but sometimes they allow me to give people a chance to try it.
That's awesome. You think Rose and Julia are going to meet somewhere in the back? I'm kidding. They both got up at the same time. You guys both got up at the same time. It looked like you were going out back to meet. All right. Does anyone else have anything that they would like to share with the group today before we move on to focus for Thursday?
If anybody wants to do my homework for me from ago, that'd be awesome. I'll pay you $20.
Rose. Well, you guys are all doing awesome and amazing. I love that you all showed up today. That's huge. Just showing up to these meetings is a big deal. And not only is it a big deal for you, it's a big deal for the group. People see changes. People are listening to the successes that you're talking about. And I think that's super important when we're all doing this together, right? And especially after a break week. I get it. Some of you probably put the homework off until yesterday, last night, or maybe even this morning, even though we had 2 weeks to do it, right? So it happens, but we're here and we're celebrating those successes. And I think you guys are all amazing. All right, focus for Thursday. Part 2, Roxanne's exercise videos are out there that she talked about. And there are also some worksheets inside. Well, there's a worksheet with the video for introduction to the exercises. So make sure you guys note that I have inserted worksheets into some of these videos. At the bottom of the video, you'll see a download button, which was a little different than before. It would have actually been its own lesson. So make sure that you're looking for those downloadables. The workouts are out there. Roxanne, you want to talk a little bit about that? I know you talked some about those workout videos, but is it workout with you kind of videos, or are they just demonstration?
So they're just demonstration, because I know that some people, and that's something that I'm going to ask in a survey from y'all when y'all have the survey, is I don't know. I feel like if someone tells me what I need to do, like for instance, for chest, shoulders, and triceps, the first round is you're going to do push-ups for the count of 4. So you're going to go down to the count of 4, up to the count of 4. And everyone's going to have modifications. Some people might have to do that against a wall. Some people might have to do it just like on the ottoman. Some people can go flat on the floor. Some people might even just go on their knees. But you do that, you do 12 reps, and then you're going to do like shoulder press for like 12 reps. And then you're going to do tricep dips. But I tell everyone, I show you how to do the exercise. I show you how to do the modifications. And then I tell you, okay, so you need to do those group of exercises 3 times before you go to the next group. So I'm just showing you how to do the workout so that y'all can, I'm not doing the whole workout with you, because everyone goes at different paces. Like for me, I can't stand it because I feel like some people go too slow. Some people might go too fast. So this gives you a chance to go at your own pace. But some people might say, I'd rather you do the workout with me, because then that will keep me on. So I really do want your feedback after you look at the videos, which do you think's better. But I'm telling you, for the very beginners, you can go as slow as you want, and that's why I do it that way. But it's just, it demonstrates the exercise, it demonstrates the modification of the exercise, and allows you to go kind of at your own pace with each group of exercises you're doing. I generally put 3 exercises together, and then I want you to stop at those 3 exercises, do them 3 times, and then move on to the next group of exercise and do those 3 times. And then there's usually about 4 groups of 3, of exercises. So that's, I want you, try to do those exercises and let me know what you think. And also there is a handout for people that are going to the gym that says on chest days, this is the exercises I do. There's even pictures. If you just scroll all the way down to the bottom, you'll see pictures of me demonstrating how to do the exercises. So you can either, whether if you want to do weights in a gym or if you want to just do your body workout, those are your options.
Dr. Roxanne, I have a question. Do
Yeah.
you recommend doing cardio and strength training on the same day, or do you alternate?
Yes, I do. Usually after you lift weights or you do the resistance training, it's really good afterwards to do the cardio, because when you lift weights, you're kind of burning through your glycogen storages. And so now, like as you lift, your muscles are using all the glycogen, all the glucose. So when you start doing cardio, now the glycogen is gone, and right away you're going to start working in your fat. Because it takes about, if you just do cardio first, it takes 20 minutes before you're actually working in stored fat for energy. So if you do the weights first and then you do the cardio, it's going to be more efficient in burning excess fat.
Good to know. I didn't know that.
Awesome. Well, and so you guys know, with your feedback and what we're learning from you guys, Roxanne and I are putting together a 3-week advanced class that would follow what this basic program looks like. And it's really digging into Roxanne doing workouts with the students via video. It would be the same type of format, and digging more into DISC and producing a more lengthy report and those sorts of things. So we appreciate you guys' feedback thus far, and have decided that we do need to put together something that's a little heavier for people who want to move on to something more advanced. All right, go ahead, Philip.
How long for the cart? Whenever I went to the gym before all this, I would see guys, I lift weights, but I go home. But I see some guys lift weights and go do cardio. I'm like, not going to do it. I'm tired. They're never out there for very long, just really 10, maybe 15 minutes. Is that what you're talking about? Or are you talking about doing it? Because my cardio is 30 minutes when I do it.
Right. So it all depends. It depends on what your goals are. If you can, after I lift weights, I'm exhausted too. And the last thing I want to do is cardio. But my goal is to use up fat and to get lean. So if you have to go to a family reunion or a high school reunion and you're just trying to jumpstart losing fat faster, then you probably want to lift weights and at least do 20 or 30 minutes of cardio after you lift weights. If you're just doing it for the health reasons, 15 minutes is probably fine. But
And is that doing hardcore high intensity?
No.
Or
No.
just
Right. So there's on the download that you have, one of the downloads about the exercise. If you just read, there's a text before it talks about the exercises to do, and in the text, what I'm talking about is when you do cardio, you should probably do cardio at least 5 days a week, if not 6 days a week. But if you really want to burn fat, there's something called a aerobic threshold. And what that means is there's a certain heart rate that you need to maintain when you do your cardio workouts that will help you burn fat and not dip into burning muscle. Now, I do hits every once in a while because I'm trying to increase my endurance. But when you do hit workouts, basically maybe for a minute and a half, you're going hard and then you're recovering for about 2 minutes before you do it again. So you're actually bringing your heart rate back down before you jack up your heart rate again. And that's okay to do every once in a while. But if you're really looking to burn fat, you need to keep your heart rate at, and this is the formula, it's 180 minus your age. That's where you basically want to keep your heart rate at. So I'm trying to look here because I don't even know. I keep getting older and older and I don't even know what my heart rate's supposed to be. So I'm 54. So it says that a good heart rate for me to do my cardio at is at about 126. So my heart rate should stay at 126. If I work out with my heart rate at 135, or if I work out at my heart rate at 140 or 150, now I'm really just using sugar for energy and not fat. My fat's going to stay the same. I'm burning up all my sugar, and then I could even dip into muscle mass. So when I do cardio, basically there's another rule of thumb that, I tell people, if you have no injuries and you've been working out for, like I've been working out my whole life, it's okay to add 5 more points to that. So 126 is where my heart rate needs to be when I do cardio. But if I go to 130, I'm still okay. If I work out at 120, I'm sucking like that. That's terrible. I might as well, I'm not really in my aerobic threshold. So after you lift weights, because you kind of are doing anaerobic, because lifting weights, your heart rate goes up and down. You just need to figure out, I wear a heart rate monitor. You need to figure out how fast you need to go to keep your heart rate at that range. And you might, what I find out is, as I say after 30 minutes, my heart rate naturally just kind of increases. So that means I need to slow down my pace to keep my heart rate there. And what's interesting is Phil Maffetone, who is a triathlon coach, he did this thing, an experiment, and he has all the #1 triathletes that do Ironman. And he always made his athletes train at 180 minus their age. And there's times that they went out there and they were just tired, and just right away, even though they were going slow, their heart rate jumped up way above that, and he made them stop. So I decided I was going to do this, and I was running marathons at the time. I went out, and at the time I was 30. So my heart rate was supposed, or maybe I was 35. So I knew my heart rate needed to be at 145. Mine was at 165. It took me 3 weeks to be able to start running again at an 8-minute mile pace, keeping my heart rate at 135 or less. So I had to retrain my body to do that. So I was always running with with my heart rate too high, which that's why I wasn't losing fat. So you need to, during your cardio, really pay attention to that, because you're going to get the best bang for your buck. Sometimes if you lift weights and do a lot of hits, now you're just keeping you're almost going to be overtraining, and you're not going to see the results in your workout. Does that make sense?
That's amazing. That's amazing. Like, that's the story of my life. Like,
where are you? Oh, there you are.
Sorry, like, well, my face isn't there. Sorry, I'm still in my bedclothes. Okay. No, literally, I've done step aerobics, and and now I'm showing my age, right? But I literally feel like there was a point in time when I'm doing all this cardio and then I couldn't lose any fat. But the moment that I would add weights and slow down a little bit, it would work. And it didn't
Right.
make sense to me. I didn't understand why, but this is why.
Right. No, exactly. And as you get older, it gets worse, because I used to work out 6 or 7 days a week, and now I'm really working out 3 or 4 days, because the days I'm training like Ninja, I know I can't keep my heart rate that low. It's spurts of high heart rate, low heart rate. And so I have learned now, I am starting, I got a competition coming up next month, so I'm starting to do some cardio in between, but you learn that sweet spot. If you train above that, and this is the other thing I do. I tell people, wake up in the morning, look at your heart rate. When I look and tell my heart rate, like my resting heart rate generally is 48. Sometimes it's 50. If I look and my heart rate when I get up in the morning is 54, I know that day my resting heart rate has elevated, and that means I need to take it easy. If I wake up and my heart rate's at 54, I am not going to do a HIIT workout. I'm going to do more of a slow walk, jog, low heart rate, as I exercise. So you need to monitor that, because sometimes people go through spurts where the 4th week, all of a sudden they notice, why is my resting heart rate so high? Your body's telling you it's tired. You need to take that week slow. Because if you push through it, it's just going to be a spiral downhill. You're not going to have good results. So pay attention to your heart rate. Monitoring your heart rate is huge, because right before you get sick, your heart rate's going to go up. That's sometimes when my heart rate's up, I'm like, okay, am I overtrained or am I trying to fight something? So I always watch my heart rate, and that kind of tells me what kind of workout I can do.
This is amazing. So Roxanne, as you're talking through that, I'm like, that's your personal dashboard. People need to know their own body metrics, right? In order to get the most out of it. So you guys take the business lesson and apply it to your workouts. Keep track of what your resting heart rate is and where you should be and what those numbers are. No, I love that. This is an awesome, awesome, awesome discussion. So on the business side of things, before Thursday, there's one module. It's really digging into how do you identify your key result indicators. And then there's just a short video about don't go crazy about trying to figure out these numbers if they don't make sense to you. Use what you have, right? So that will be for Thursday. You guys are all awesome and amazing. I'm so glad you showed up today. Roxanne and I are very blessed to have this group with us. You guys have been amazing for us, and hopefully you're learning some things along the way, maybe a little. You guys all have a great day, and we'll see you on Thursday.
Hey, y'all.